Joao Neves, what a wonderful player. Right, well, let's move on to speak about Joao Neves then, because we do have a lot to get through tonight. So, where are we? Joao Neves, Joao Neves, Joao Neves. So, this piece earlier on from O Jogo, who are a Portuguese outlet, said, Liverpool hold talks with Benfica over €120 million teen sensation. Liverpool has initiated discussions with Benfica regarding a possible transfer of 19-year-old midfielder Joao Neves. Neves has garnered recognition from a promising young talent to European football. Several Premier League clubs, including Manchester United and Arsenal, have shown an interest in Joao Neves. He's got a buyout clause of €120 million, and this is one of those occasions where I would expect that we'd have to pay it. I don't think they'll come to the negotiation table because they want to already extend this kid and put in a higher release clause. So if we do want Joao Neves, and again, it's a big if, I think we'll have to pay the release clause. But, you know, we've been told the money was always there, and we've seen a Declan Rice at Arsenal, a Moise Caicedo at Chelsea. If Liverpool dip their toe in the £100+ million market, well then that's certainly a sign of intent from the owners, but it's a big if. Craig, hand on heart, do you believe FSG will spend $120 million on Neves? No, I don't. Probably for the same reasons you do. But we do have to caveat this conversation, Stevie boy, and thank you for your super chat, my friend, by saying we were willing to spend it last year when Moise Caicedo was on the table and we backed away. So if it's the right player, we have to believe until proven otherwise that Liverpool will pay it. You know, I don't know if he's the answer. You know, there's lots of stuff in the media that we need to sort out. For instance, there was lots of conversation around Matt Wiefer and some reports that Liverpool were scrambling around trying to frantically get him and stop him going to Brighton. And that turned out to be absolute crap. No truth to that whatsoever. And Arne Slot himself came out and denied that. So until we know from the English side that these contacts have been made, you take everything with a pinch of salt. So do I think we'd spend the money? Well, look, if Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes have targeted this kid as the guy, maybe. You never know. Caicedo was Premier League proven. It's a fair point, Philip. You know, it's a fair point, mate, and I take it on board. I can't say that we're going to spend the money. I was just asked a genuine question to say, do I think that there is a world where we do spend it? And all I can say is that we have shown that we were willing to. Now, that's not worth anything to us fans because we haven't got the player, but we were shown we were willing to. So I have to take that at face value. Wouldn't spend 88 mil on Bellingham, so I just don't see us spending 120 now. Well, it's 120 euro, which is a little bit lower, but I still get your point, Paul. And you're right. You know, Jude Bellingham was an outstanding candidate, a guaranteed world beater, and we didn't pursue the deal. I can't push back on that. Like, I have no interest in defending FSG here. I just want what's best for the club. And I can't sit here and say that Joao Neves isn't a good player. He is. We've seen how highly Diogo Jota spoke about him. You know, we know that there was a meeting with the agency. We just don't know what that meeting was about. If it was about players who were at the club like Darwin and Diogo. Was it about the likes of Ryan Aït-Nouri, who of course has been linked with a move away as well. Interesting little bit of information on Aït-Nouri. You may have known this, but I didn't. That 38 million that we're speaking about for Aït-Nouri is the release clause number. So Liverpool know if they want him that they'd have to trigger that. But that's a good thing. It doesn't mean that, you know, we're going to get him, but if you know what the release clause is, it's easily triggerable, and £38 million seems reasonable to me. Craig, to be honest, I think we'll have to wait. As Richard said in the press conference, they'll wait and see the players and then decide. And that's fair enough as well, but we have to kind of have a happy medium on this, Charlie. You know, we can't wait too long because the market moves quickly. It's only fair that Arne Slot looks to assess his squad. I get that. But we still are going to need some people in the positions we know we're going to need them in. Said, I would love Chiesa at Liverpool and I hope that Neves is happening. So I love Neves. I would. I still think Ederson is where the value is at in the holding / anchoring midfield role. But this kid has been spoken about quite a bit. Joao Neves. We've seen Diogo before the Euro speaking about how good he is, how much he's impressed the Portuguese squad. And he got plenty of game time as well. So let's wait and see what happens. One thing I'll say is we're often told relationships are really important in this side of things. We have a great relationship with that agency. So certainly puts us in the mix. I don't think Neves is even worth 40 million, said Daniel. Wow. That's interesting. Now look, he's not worth the release clause. None of these guys are. But you're paying in this day and age, I guess, for the potential on top of the proven talent. I don't know what to say, you know. Would I like to pay less? Yes, of course. But my view as a fan is, first and foremost, would this signing improve the first team? Would this signing give us more cover? Would this signing give us options? And I'd have to say yes. The money concern, well, that's secondary because, you know, it's not my money. It's not your money. And I'm sure the club can afford it. So, from my perspective as a fan, I just want the team to get stronger. But of course, I don't want the club to be frivolous. I don't want the club to end up in financial hardship. Neves is closer to United than us. Again, it's another definitive statement from you, Isaac, that I don't think is true. So look at it this way. I would say we probably have one of, if not the best relationship with his agency of any football club. And it is all about relationships, you know. And I think if Liverpool want to sign him, it's no-brainer. If you were him right now, where would you go? If Liverpool wanted you and United wanted you, and both were willing to pay the release clause, where would you go? It's undoubtedly Liverpool, because we're in the Champions League. We have a better squad. We're a little bit further along in our development, even though we've made some backroom changes. I wouldn't worry about it, mate. United are only able to get players these days that we don't go after. And then they tried to convince themselves, some of their fans, that we wanted them. Like that bullshit lie that was put out last week by whatever that United account was on Twitter that said that Matthias de Ligt rejected Liverpool and a couple of other clubs because he only wanted United. Come on now. If Liverpool went for de Ligt, you wouldn't see him near Manchester. But Liverpool aren't silly enough to pay the money for de Ligt because he's not good enough. He's too injury prone and he's already had a lot of big moves in his career, and something must be the reason for that. I don't want de Ligt. No Liverpool fans I know want de Ligt. But this clown troupe lying to the public tried to convince the world that we were shafted because he only wanted United. That's what they're resorting to. Making themselves feel better by lying.